What's happening? Andy here. I am joined by Andre D'Urbano. We are on location at the RISO Communication Center. We're in Woburn, Massachusetts. How are you, Andre?
I'm very well. Welcome.
Awesome. Well, we're going to take a tour. We're going to walk around. We're going to see some machines, and Andre's going to give us the overview and tell us what's happening at RISO. Let's start over here. You want to show me?
Sure. I guess we'll start with this unit because this is as close as you're going to get to what the unit looks like out of box. Right. This is the GL series, of which we have two. One will print at 160 pages per minute, the other at 140. The two models are the GL 9730, which is this one, and its little brother GL 7430.
So this is dedicated, this setup is dedicated to envelopes, I can see.
Well, so what we did here, nice catch, is we added a straight shooter envelope feeder. RISOs have been able to print envelopes forever because it's inkjet. There's no heat. And so a substrate that has glue on the backside is typically problematic for technology that is fusing toner onto paper. Enter inkjet, which uses no heat. It's simply spraying the image using inkjet heads onto the substrate. And so we've been printing envelopes forever, starting from the duplicator, continued onto the inkjet, but the application was so successful that we had our print shop saying to us, we love the fact that you can print envelopes, but we don't want to have to keep feeding the envelopes into the tray. And so we sourced a straight shooter to create this envelope feeder. So why don't I get some copies printing here so that we can see how this operates.
So that's an accessory.
That is an accessory.
With a partner company.
With straight shooter, yes.
Fits right in there.
Right in.
And now you can fit, I mean, it looks like a massive stack of envelopes, but then you can just keep it running forever as long as somebody keeps feeding those envelopes.
Sure, because you're feeding these envelopes from the top. And so what happens is you can come to the back end, you can remove the envelopes that you printed. Notice the variable data on there and some trans promo.
Yeah,
okay,
they look good.
Yeah, but you can take these envelopes now, you can put them in a box. Meanwhile, you're then coming back over this way, adding more envelopes to the top because it's bottom fed.
So it just never stops.
It just never stops. We're doing about 6,000 envelopes an hour.
Wow.
So the unit itself still has the tray. Right? We haven't modified the unit. We're simply taking this envelope feeder, which rolls up or rolls out when you're done. You're now ready to keep using that RISO.
Oh, so that's an easy
as a feeder for paper.
Now you can just pop that in, and now you're doing envelopes. It's not a
so you've got your side guides. You can get some paper and just feed it through there. In fact, why don't we do just that? Because another popular application on the RISO is NCR, right? This is still a very popular application with university implants and a lot of government type implants. The unit itself prints at a speed of 160 pages per minute. That's 9,600 impressions per hour. So the paper can either come out this way or come out up at the top where our feed tray is, our exit tray, right? So really what we're doing here, Andy, is we're taking first of all, you're going to feel it's not hot, right?
Yeah.
The paper's cold. It hasn't warped because, again, there's no heat being applied to it. And so with NCR, a lot of times what we have is customers who want to add numbering to that NCR. And so...
it does a nice job on the small text, too.
Sure, yeah.
Real small.
Yeah, yeah. And, you know, NCR's got that backing, right? And typically that could be a problem for devices that are using toner, because the fusing section doesn't like the chemical on the backside of these NCR forms. Again, no heat on a RISO. We can do this all day long. We have one customer in Los Angeles does about 750,000, I think, every 3 weeks or so. Yeah, big volume.
Wow.
These units can handle it. Well, speaking of volume, right, so what you have here now is, again, the same unit, is the GL 9730, but accessorized with a 4,000 sheet paper deck, a 4,000 sheet stacker. This is probably a Fiery, okay? This is a RISO made controller if needed. It's a lower end device, but typically it goes out with the Fiery. So here again, we're talking about a technology that is 9,600 impressions an hour. And with the stacker, okay, we now have paper coming either from one of the 3 trays or the 4,000 sheet paper deck through the unit at a very high speed, in color, directly into the paper stacker. This stacker is equipped with a dollies, so once it's full, you can pull it out, walk it over to the finishing area, some of our bigger units, you'll see where this can happen, where we have double stacker devaluses as it continues to print. So again, what you're listening to here is
paper.
2.5 copies a second.
Yeah, flying.
Yeah, that's 160 a minute. So it's fast. You know, we've got customers doing, in some cases, 1 million a month on a device like this.
It's nice and cool over here.
There's no heat.
There is no heat.
Yeah, kind of takes some getting used to, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, such as inkjet. Okay?
Yeah.
But now with this, what RISO has done over the years is accessorized the technology with some really unique accessories. Okay? So we'll move over this way, over to my left.
What do we have here? Show me this.
So this, once again, GL 9730, very similar to what you saw earlier, same 4,000 sheet paper deck. And don't let that stapler throw you off. That's just a corner stapler. But what we do have is a very unique piece of technology over on this side. This is what we call an envelope wrapper. Okay? And what this will do is it'll take an envelope, which essentially looks like this, right? You have glue over on this side. You can see the pink, the green. Water is applied to that envelope. The inside, which is the variable data, is printed and wrapped into that envelope, and so you get the finished product. And so basically, at no time do you ever have to fold, insert, affix a stamp, lick the envelope, right? So it's a wonderful tool. We have a lot of government institutions.
It's perfectly dry.
Oh yeah, oil-based ink. Right? So we'll touch on that in a second, but we have a lot of government institutions who use this. You know, the fact that you can simply hit a green button, it's blue actually on a RISO, but you can hit that button and you're doing the work of what used to take an offset press for the envelopes. You needed the toner device for the variable data. You needed the inserter folder to marry the two. Now you hit that one button, back away, and the unit does all of this.
And this is your typical peel off the perforated edges, and then you've got your documents inside. Nice and secure.
Yeah.
Really neat.
Very secure, in fact.
One step.
Yeah. No, from a HIPAA perspective, it is very secure. You cannot see what is on the inside unless you open it.
Yeah, that's sealed.
Yeah.
That's sealed. Really cool.
So again, for salespeople out there who are looking for unique application, something that is not super competitive, you know, if every now and then you want to make some serious money with selling a product that has some decent profit in it, here's something that is great for salespeople in the dealer community. You find a customer, again, in government that is mailing out tax statements, water bills, in smaller volumes, right? Because sometimes if you're looking like a city in New York or Philadelphia or LA, they're just going to outsource that type of work. But smaller communities and smaller townships, it's perfect. That's where we have these units.
Very cool. Thank you very much for taking me through this. This was quite a treat. Thank you.
Pleasure.